Yes, hello. Yes, sir. It's Wednesday night. Yes, fantasy football night. That's correct. Line is forming to the right. Yeah, both fantasy leagues as well as the Survivor League. Correct. We'll be covering all that, sir. Yeah, some people did look like shit this week. Yeah, there were some that looked all right. We'll get to all that. Yes, ma'am. Mini bars open. It's always open. VIP to the right. Line is to the left, please. Yes, Wednesday night, fantasy football night. Always in season. Hardcore Challenge Live, yes. Commish is in the house, yes, he will be hosting. Yeah, it's not just silver and black tonight. Unfortunately, we do have fans of other teams that stop by on Wednesday nights. It is fantasy football night, ma'am. I know. Normally we would toss them out, but some of these are hardcore challenge owners, man. Yes, show will be starting very soon. Thank you for joining us. These guys like to run a tight show. Enjoy the show.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
Rips the helmet off Rudolph's head and then eventually swings it and hits him in the head.
1, 2, 3, where you not hardcore? Let you live hardcore. And the legend of the rich was way hardcore. Yeah! Now we're rocking.
What's up? Good evening, everybody. Football fans, fantasy football fans, members of the Raider Nation. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Hardcore Challenge Live, the official podcast of the Hardcore Challenge. And in case you didn't know, it is the pinnacle of fantasy football competition. Because if you're not playing in the Hardcore Challenge, you're playing in some basic ass, probably 12-person, generic fucking roster, playing with people at work. You got a family league going where you're playing your cousins and your sisters and your fucking auntie. That's really not the pinnacle of fantasy football competition. This is the type of league that you would like to get into. The big league is 32 owners, 2 conferences, 8 divisions run just like the National Football League. And we have a Hardcore Challenge All Raider Nation League as well, plus our Survivor League. Let's get into all of it, shall we? It's another week concluded, another week on the cusp of the National Football League. Week 5 is behind us. Week 6 is coming. Let's touch on all of it, shall we? Survivor League. Let's start there first. Start with the Survivor League. I see it was a fucking bloodbath. this week in the Survivor League, as we have 2 left standing in the Survivor League. 2 left standing. We had a bloodbath. Buffalo, Arizona, and the Rams knocked off 6 people, so we're down to it's a 2-horse race between Nancy and Coach Joe left in the Survivor League. It is it's down to the wire. Who's literally going to be the survivor? You see, they both got them locked in for this week. Who they gonna pick? We'll see who's left. If both are left standing next week. Let's hit last week's game of the week.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
It's time
Is this not why you are here?
for the Hardcore Challenge Game of the Week. In the big league, we had the battle of the last 2 unbeatens. And it was a little underwhelming. Wasn't quite the game of the week that we wanted. Wanted to see a little better shootout, a little better showing there from Take It Deep. But, you know, not everybody's going to show up every week. It was a close game till the end. Sunday Night Football into Monday night. He started running away with it, and it was over. Bed Bath & Beyond rallies late to beat Take It Deep, takes over first place. Coming off a stellar performance, Bed Bath & Beyond wanted to keep things rolling. They accomplished by taking down Take It Deep. They had command of the matchup first with 76-13 lead heading into Sunday. The advantage disappeared by the end of early Sunday games. They trailed by 36. However, with the help of 17 points from Dalton Kincaid during the Patriots-Bills game, Bed Bath & Beyond ended Sunday night in front and never looked back, and it was over. So, the last undefeated team standing in the OG League, Bed Bath & Beyond. Nice work. We had a big game of the week over in the All Raider Nation League as well. You had undefeated Shadow Raider coming in. She's the leading scorer in the league, still the leading scorer in the league even after this week. Coming in, you had 3-1 Death Dealers coming in. Tyler takes down Tony. The Shadow Raider loses to the Death Dealers. Evens things up across the top of the league. Now, there's a lot of 4-1, so we're going to see how it shakes out now. Dropped Tony down. Took away her sole possession of her division. And Tyler continues. Moving on. Nice win. He really had control of this one pretty much from the outgate. Wasn't even close. Death Dealers beats Shadow Raider. Expels them from first place. That's a little harsh, don't you think? Expulsion. Goodness. Well, if they were expelled. Last week's Game of the Weeks, that's them. They're wrapped up. Let's see who the big ballers of the week were.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People
Big ballers of the week this week. In the big league, Knoxville Assassins with a thumping of I Lost My Chub. Larry and Doug fall to 1-4. And Brad moves to 3-2. Gets him up off of 500. Solid win for Brad. Got the highest score of the week to beat I Lost My Chub. This win was a revenge for a loss to I Lost My Chub in their last meeting a season ago. Avenging the loss, Knoxville Assassins takes down I Lost My Chub. Biggest baller of the week. And the big baller. Way to get up off the carpet. Previously was the only winless team. Eric and Skullfuck the Chiefs It's a way to get off the carpet with your first win of the season. They come in 0-4 with the only winless team in the All Raider Nation Hardcore Challenge League. And they get off the carpet, off the mat with a 221 showing. They were the biggest baller of the week. Congratulations. Nice, solid performance. That's the way to get your first win right there. So we go from the top, then we go to the bottom. The low ballers of the week. Oh, let's start in the All Raider Nation League, shall we? Low baller of the week, Raider Nation 770 with a meager 153. That's brutal. That's brutal. Over in the OG League, Spleeve with a 141. Second appearance. He's been on the big baller list and now twice on the low baller list this season. He's all over the fucking map. But he stepped in it this week. 141. And I got to play Spleeve this week, so I hope for another performance just like that one this week so I can get me a nice dub. Let's see, where were we? Legal rosters. Guys have been doing amazing on the legal rosters. The only thing I want to mention is we're about that time this season where guys are going to start popping off of IR. Make sure you keep an eye on your roster. If you've got a guy that's on IR and he's possibly going to come off, he's going to come off of that within any notice, really. And when he comes off of IR, now you've got to make a roster shuffle and remove somebody from your bench, drop somebody to make a spot for that guy to come off of injured reserve. There is no timetable for that. You're supposed to do it ASAP. So if you don't see it, we see it first. We're going to let you know. You know, we know if the guy was in there already and you didn't see it, it's not a big deal. We're not going to, we're just going to slap your hand and move along. It's not a big deal. But just keep an eye out for that. Only IR in your reserve spots, and you got to keep that mandatory defensive bench spot full. Game of the weeks for this week. Let's keep it over here in the All Raider Nation League for now. Game of the week for this week. I really thought there's only one that warranted a Game of the Week moniker. And that's the Haywood Gang. 4-1, now tied. After Shadow Raider lost in the Game of the Week last week, they're now 4-1 and tied atop their division in the Wild West. Facing off against Josh, Raiders all day, the last undefeated team sitting in first place in the Great White North that houses all three of the champions, the previous league champions, are all in that. Two-time champion Raider Richie and our first champion Black Hole, all in the Great White North right now. Raiders all day is running away from it, but he's got a big matchup. You see, it's projected it's going to jump out to an early lead, but the Haywood Gang's going to make it close at the end. It's projected within 8 points right now. This should be a very close game. You got Jackson Dart against Jordan Love. Your quarterback's leading it off. About an 8-point favorite right now is Raiders all day. And I tell you what, I'm going to pick the underdog this week. I'm going to pick the fucking Haywood Gang to pull it out in a late Monday night. They're going to pull it out and pass them Monday Night Football. I know how that feels. I came in projected to win both of my games coming into Monday Night Football. In the big league, I had the Chiefs kicker left, and he had Thomas, and I had a 1-point lead. I had about a fucking 40-some point lead in the Raider Nation League, and all he had was Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence. When Trevor Lawrence scored that last touchdown and put the ball over the end zone, I lost by 1 point. 166 to 155 or 165. I'm hoping for fucking stat corrections. God damn, I couldn't believe that shit. Like, somebody tackle that bumbling motherfucker. Falls down, every fucking thing else. That literally cost me my game. The last drive of that Jacksonville game, I lost both of my fantasy games. So, we'll see if Haywood Gang can pull it out. We'll see. We will see. I had to look at this one for a minute. See where I really wanted to go. I had to browse it, and then I just end up back here. because to me it's hard for the game of the week not to highlight the team that's undefeated as long as they're playing somebody solid. And when you're the only undefeated team left at 5-0, I think Bed Bath & Beyond should be in the game of the week, probably until they lose. Unless you've got like some one loss, division champ or leaders facing off against each other. And we really didn't have any of that. Plus, Knoxville Assassins was the big baller of the week. So Brad has stepped forward. He's the big baller of the week. You've got the only undefeated team in the league. Looks like a fucking game of the week to me. Bed Bath & Beyond against Knoxville Assassins, a former league champ, although that trophy's real fucking dusty. Real dusty. The ring might have been made of flint. Let's move on. You got Patrick Mahomes, Drake May. This is also projected not quite as close as the other one. What do you got? About a 20-point advantage right now. Bed Bath & Beyond. It's about a 20-point favorite. I'm not picking the underdog in this one. I think this one's going to be a tough road to hoe for Brad. Bed Bath & Beyond is projected to put up a bunch of points again, and I think they're going to again this week, and I'm picking them to win in this week's game of the week. All right, let's take a quick spin around the league and get the fuck out of here, shall we? Let's start. We'll start in the Little League first. Let's start in the All Raider Nation League. Let's take a spin around that sumbitch first, and then we'll hit the big league on the way out the door. Let's get it. In the Great White North, we've talked about them enough tonight. Raiders all day sitting at 5-0 with a full 2-game lead over the rest of the division. Two-time defending champ, Raider Richie, got to win this week. They're one game over 500. Black Hole is on the bounce back, coming back from the 0-2 start. They've won 3 straight. They were our first league champion. And Skullfuck the Chiefs got up off the mat in dramatic fashion as they were big baller of the week. Death Dealer sitting at 4-1 off the big game of the week win over Shadow Raider. Max Destruction sitting at 2-3 behind them. Full 2-game lead already for Death Dealers. Nick Salfer-Harrenby won in a big shootout this week, handing JoJo his first loss. We all loved that. Fucking knocked JoJo down a fucking peg. Bringing the Pain, lost 4 straight. They're just taking it on the chin there. Shadow Raider with the loss in the game of the week. Evens them up with the Haywood Gang, who's won 3 straight after losing to the Shadow Raider in their first matchup. Raider Nation 98 lost 3 straight. Raider Nation 70. It don't matter the numbers. It's all just adding up to an L. Both sitting at 1-4. Savage Wolfpack at 4-1. Running things right now in the Dirty South. One Nation has lost 3 straight. Autumn Pirate got their second win, moving up to 2-3. And I lost a tough one. I told you earlier on the literally last play of the game, lost by 1 point. I'm waiting for stat corrections tomorrow morning, and hopefully I can get that dub back. We'll see. But right now I'm sitting at 1-4. That one was a tough loss. I needed that win. That was unfortunate. That fucking pissed me off. Like, goddamn it, as bad a weekend as it was for my Raiders, I needed my fantasy dubs, and for both of them to fall apart in the last fucking drive, that sucked. Skull Crushers with a tie. Fucking sitting with a wow. Where the fuck did the tie come from? Did I miss the tie this week? The tie, there it is. Renegade Outlaws and the Skull Crushers with a 156 tie. We'll have to see if there's a shakeout on that in the stat corrections as well. So right now, Skull Crushers sitting in first place by half a fucking game over Kilowattage. Lucky number 11 got a win. They're sitting at 2-3. Freaking fracking football time. Carol, winless. What is going on over there, Carol? Good Lord. Take It Deep, 4-1. Knoxville Assassins, big baller of the week with 2 straight wins, sitting at 3-2. Pack Attack is back, took an L. Woo takes an L, sitting at 2-3 also. Black Hole at 3-2 with a win this week. Renegade Outlaws right behind him with that tie game. They're half a game back. Cheesehead has lost 2 straight. Donkey Punch, just, I don't know. You don't know what the fuck's going on over there. J-Dub's lost. Bed Bath & Beyond, 5 straight wins, sitting out front. But the defending league champ, Willie, right there. 3 straight wins, 4-1, sitting right behind him. Not behind him too far in points scored either, so staying right there. The Bucknuts got a win this week to get up to 2-3, and I lost my chubs. Lost a lot right now. Lost a lot. sitting at 1-4. Great White North of the AFC, Knox Vegas Anarchy and Bad Company locked at 3-2. Everybody in this division lost this week. Answer to the Master at 2-3. Daco's Tuesday sitting at 1-4. Stone Ponies, they were the ones that stole the dub from me on that last drive from Jacksonville in this league. They got moved up to 4-1 with 2 straight wins. Blackout, I got to play them this week. They're on the losing end 2 straight. Bison Broncos 2 straight, and Emmett Who finally gets off the mat with a win, up to 1-4. Under the influence, Matt continues his stellar season, sitting at 4-1, but Stinky Pinky is sitting right behind him at 3-2 with a win. King Salami gets a win. Bleeding Green's got 2 wins straight now. Everybody in that division won. Moving up, moving up. Refrigerator Raiders now has lost 2 straight, lost their grip on the Dirty South that they had early after that first round of division play. All-Pro Afro with 3 straight wins now has tied them. Bucka Raider with 2 straight wins has also tied them. It was going to be a 4-way tie till I didn't fucking... Goddamn Jags fucked me Monday. Fucking the Jags against Kansas City. Who fucking... Come on. So, I'm 1 game back in that. I need a bounce-back game this week against you, Spleeve. I'm sorry. You're going to have to fucking take one on the chin. God damn it. Show schedule. We'll be back same fucking time next week to talk about how wonderful you did in fantasy or your Survivor League, or how shitty you did. One or the other. Good luck to everybody in all of your fantasy leagues this week. Unless you're playing me, then I wish you absolutely 0 luck at all. I wish you nothing but L's. Until next time, I'm out. Happy gaming. Peace, love, Raider Nation.